Hello enemies and book lovers, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. It's that time of the month again where people are doing their TBRs and I'm, as usual, really excited about this one. I'm going to be doing my July TBR and this month I'm doing it a little bit differently but also not really. I'm still doing my Sims TBR. So I put a community tab poll and I asked if anyone wanted me to keep the way I'm doing it now where I just record the entire thing and then put my TBR at the end, or if I should do what other people usually do where they take segments and they kind of split them up and put the books in between. Most people voted that they like when, you know, it's individualized, so that's what I'm going to do for now on. The last thing that happened in my Sims game was that Corina actually went on a date with both Darian and Minjun, and okay, so I had a little footage for it. I did this off screen and first, she went with Darian. Darian, I randomized where they went, so it was completely random as to what place they went to and then what location in that area. For Darian, he went to a park. I think Darian and Corina really hit it off really well. They had a great time. Corina didn't have any negative moodlets. She was actually really enjoying herself and they were like really cute together. They had their first kiss. It was actually a pretty perfect date. And then with Minjun, I randomized it again and he took her to an art gallery and it didn't work as well for her because she's introverted and she got really anxious because of that. And it was still a really sweet date, but she was uncomfortable for a decent amount of it. He brought her up to like the very top of it and they actually like shared a little bit of a moment together. It was actually really cute. He took her away from the crowd and she felt a lot better. Her moodlet went to happy and then they had their first kiss as well. So they both kind of had a moment, they're both dates, they had their first kisses and it was really cute. But I had to decide inevitably which one was the one that I think would work for her the most, and I'm not going to talk about that really until I get to the TBR portion. But yes, I had a little bit of footage I put over me talking so you could see a little bit of the dates and it was really cute. But yeah, I won't really talk about anything other than that until you get to the TBR portion. If you don't want to watch the Sims plot unfolding, you could just skip it and get to the TBR portion. But if you want to see, you know, my Sims growing and, you know, eventually having a family and just all that fun stuff that I actually enjoy filming, you can also just watch that. You don't have to, you can skip it, it's all good. All right, so let's move on to my Sims portion so you can see what the prompts are and who she eventually chose. We are back with another Sims TBR game. I am so excited. I always love filming these videos. Okay, so it's been a while since I filmed anything, so I'm really excited to be back into it. And yes, so a little bit has happened since we've been here last. There's a little bit of like, you know, cute photos in the house. I kind of wanted to make it a little more personal. They've lived here for a few months now and Mitchell and Corina are doing really well together, just having a good time. Well, Mitchell's not having a good time, but you know what I mean. I did have my Sims go on dates. I probably mentioned this before, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but Corina did go on a date with Darian and Minjun, and so I kind of had to decide what I thought was best for her. Naturally, I think she did a lot better with Darian. I really love Minjun. He is one of my favorite Sims I've ever created ever, but I feel like the chemistry with Darian and her was a lot stronger and more natural. She was a little bit uncomfortable on the date with Minjun and it wasn't his fault, but I just feel like he brought her to like a social area and she was like introverted and she didn't really love that. But then Darian brought her to a park and it was like just them two and she really hit it off with him. So because of that, Darian is going to be the one that she will be choosing. Now Fitz was just behind him, so that's probably a good sign. I also have to say something that I am very shocked with. I do have the polyamorous trait on all these characters because if I didn't, they would be jealous of each other. So I definitely do have a trait that's happening right now because if I didn't, they would hate each other. This is the first time that Darian is going to be meeting Mitchell, the first time ever, and Mitchell isn't feeling great, so not sure how that's gonna work out. He's gonna sit with him and he's gonna talk to Darian and hopefully, you know, they'll like each other. Also, while I was away, Darian on his own got a cat named Lulu. I had to show you, but he's a cat person. And not only is he a cat person, but he's a criminal. I didn't even know that. I did not do that. He did that. He did that himself. What? Mama, I'm in love with a criminal, I guess. She's in love with a criminal and a cook. It's kind of adorable. It's kind of like a romance novel that she would read, you know, like the mob boss kind of thing. So yeah, he's a criminal. That's how he makes his money as a bachelor. And he has a cat that he recently just got named Lulu. She's a girl. She has like a little mustache. It's adorable. I feel like that's perfect. He got a cat and they're all gonna move in together. So they're gonna have 3 cats. I mean, cat people, the more cats the better, right? So, okay. They're hitting it off pretty well. He's sweaty because he just worked out, Mitchell, so I apologize. It's a little... But yeah, I'm just gonna have them just talk and, you know, get to know each other. And I think that Corina's having a good time, the fact that they're having a good time, and I think she's happy with that, which is really, really sweet. So while they're talking and having a good time together and, you know, whatever. We're gonna pick books out. I don't think that Darian and her are going to be together anytime soon, but in the next episode I will be rolling for babies to see how many kids they're all gonna have together. Like, I'm so scared. If I get 4, I'm going to cry. Not literally, but I feel like I might. She's feeling smitten. Yeah, she really likes Darian a lot. So that's really cute. Okay, I'm happy with this. So let's get into the actual portion of the TBR, which I always take a while to get to. I apologize, but let's get into that now. So let's read something. What's the first prompt? We're gonna do 4 prompts. The last one's kind of like a bonus one. I don't know if I'll be getting to it for sure, but I'm going to try to get to it. So we will be doing 3 prompts and hopefully getting to a 4th if I can. Is that vomit on the ground? Oh my god. It's hair pile. It's fine. Okay, so what is she reading? The first prompt is going to be an illustrated book. So this is anything that is either manga, manhwa, graphic novel, webtoon, anything that is illustrated. So this can be almost anything as long as, obviously, like I said, is illustrated. This is pretty simple. So let's just go right away to see what book I will be choosing for illustrated book. So as you saw, my first prompt is an illustrated book. I have a few books I could choose for this, so let me just tell you the 4 books I could potentially choose. Yeah, it's a lot. Can't really decide. I kind of want to have a little bit of freedom and choose whatever I want to choose when July hits. So the first one is Promised Neverland Volume 17. I read, I think, 1 or 2 volumes in June, so I like to get to this. This is the 16th volume. I cannot show you the 17th volume because it has a decent spoiler on the cover. And yeah, a lot of the later books have a little bit of a spoiler, and I don't want to really show those ones. So I'm just going to show the 16th one as a placeholder. But yes, I will be reading the 17th volume if I can in July. If I don't get to this, I will also be potentially reading Spy X Family Volume 5. I did read Spy Family up to volume 4 in May to prepare for my Anime North convention. I am enjoying this series. I will obviously talk more about it in my wrap up. I plan on doing a wrap up for both May and June and just combine it because I didn't do a May wrap up. So I'll just combine it. So you will see that all together at the beginning of July. I might also read more Lore Olympus. This is the 2nd volume, although I'm kind of just reading it off of Webtoon, so I don't really know when the Webtoon ends in regards to the volumes. I plan on reading this eventually. I haven't really gotten too much into it since I think April when I first started reading it, but I hope maybe get to this. I mean, there's a lot of options on this list. I don't think I'll get to all of them. They all sound pretty good, so we'll see which one I actually end up deciding. But yes, there is one more though. There is one more that I am really excited to get to eventually, and maybe this will be the month, potentially, and that is Berserk Volume 7. I have been loving Berserk. I think Berserk will probably be my favorite manga of all time, and I'm only on the 7th volume. But Berserk is a pretty well-known and beloved manga, very dark fantasy and just dark themes, and I am loving it. I still am in the Golden Age, I believe, arc. I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. So those are the 4 options: Promised Neverland, Spy Family, Lore Olympus, and Berserk. I don't know which one I'll be getting to, but I'll be getting to at least one of those. I have a lot of options. Okay, so let's move on to my next prompt. Okay, so Illustrated has been chosen. She's picking up the hair pile, and we are going to move on to our 2nd prompt. So let her do that. Is he still here? He's still here. Okay, he looks sad. I'm gonna have her hug him because he looks sad. Aw, cute. Okay. I really think she does really well with him, so I think it makes sense that they are together. So let's read something else. Oh. They just tried to woohoo. Not right now. Stop it. Just go read a book. I have been trying to do this for the past few minutes. And then I'll have you clean up this plate, okay? Let's go. You can actually kind of tell what the books are going to be before she even picks it sometimes. If you get to know the covers, if you've been here long enough, you might know some of the covers already. I know them usually. I try not to. But let's see which this one is. Oh. Okay, bye, Darian. This is the first time I've got this prompt. Why am I reading this? Read a book you don't think you'll like. I DNF'd prior, or a series, or next in a series I didn't like. So a book series I might have not have thought I would have gotten to. This one, oh, okay. So I'm going to be trying to get to a book that I don't really know if I'll like, but a book I might even hate, a hate read, or just a book that I don't know if I'll actually enjoy. Let's see what book I chose. Okay, so the next prompt was actually one that I've never done before. This is, why am I reading this? Either I'm going to hate read a book, I'm going to just read a book that I thought I wouldn't like, one that I have, maybe like a series I've DNF'd, but I will try continuing, anything along those lines, but maybe I'll be surprised. Although the one I chose, I already know I'm not gonna like, so this is already a great start. I'm also going to be doing potentially a reading vlogs for this, and I am going to do a reading vlog for this one because this is my actually lowest rated book of all time in my entire life, and I plan on getting to it again because I have the entire series. I have most of the books in the series. I think I have like the first 8 or so, and I've never like gotten past the first book. I'm going to reread for the 3rd time Marked, which is the first book in the House of Night series. This is by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I'm pretty sure this is a mother-daughter, which is also really weird considering there are kind of themes in this book that I would not want my mom to write with me, but okay. It is a YA series that was very popular when I was in high school. Everyone was reading it in my high school, like everyone. I would love to annotate this and actually write in this book because I think this just would be a fun hate read series to annotate, and I don't know if I'll ever get rid of these. I feel like I should. I don't even know if I should annotate it, because what if I hate it, I write things in it, and I get rid of them, and someone's gonna read them one day. You know what, actually I would love to read an annotated book that someone just hated. It'd be kind of fun. Maybe not, I don't know, would you? Maybe. Maybe I would annotate these and give it to a viewer, and that'd be kind of fun as well. I don't know if I would ever get to that point, but it'd be kind of fun to give it to a viewer and have them also read my annotations and stuff. I would honestly do that if I could. Canada shipping sucks though, but I might. It follows Zoe Redbird, and she finds herself in a school. It's very much like Crave Zodiac Academy kind of setting, but they are more vampires in this book. I remember they have like the tattoos on their faces and stuff. It's just a wild ride, and there's a lot of issues with it now. I mean, this was written in the early 2000s, so there's a lot of problems with it now, like words that probably shouldn't be used and all that. I don't know if people are supposed to put this in their room. Classes in session, enter at your own risk. So I originally read this when I was in high school. I remember I was reading on the train. I was doing volunteering in order to get my credits, so I read this while I was on my train ride or commute. It was like over an hour commute, and so I read this, and I actually quite liked this when I first read it in high school. Okay, but then I reread this when I was about 25, and I hated it. I think this is the only book I've ever given a 1 star to in my entire life. I've given books 1.5 stars rounded down to a 1, but this is the first time I think I've ever given a 1-star book at all. So this is gonna be interesting to read. I'm gonna be reading vlog on it. I might even continue the series as a reading vlog. I don't know. Will I? Maybe. It'd be kind of fun to hate read them. I honestly can't deny it. I can't deny that, but I also am just afraid this is going to make me just like rip my hair out. I'm also going to be starting the Orilium Alchemy quest. This is something that Book Rose has been doing. I only am going to be starting it now, but you can do it anytime you want. It is pretty much like a choose your own adventure thing where you choose what answer you want and they lead to different prompts. I will put the link down below how to, play this game as well. If you accepted to help the person that asks you for help, you get a prompt, and that prompt was Night in the title. Now, obviously this is called Marked, but the entire series is House of Night, and this is one of the few books I have that have Night in the title, or at least in the book series title. But I mean, Night is on the cover. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there, and it is the series title's name. So I'm just gonna read it, and it works really well for why am I reading this. I gave myself a little bit of leeway, so you know what, it works for me. So with that, let's move on to the next prompt. Okay, so let's go on to our 3rd prompt. We have 2 more. Let's go on to our 3rd one. Let's see what the 3rd prompt is going to be. This is a TBR jar. Are you kidding me? No, I missed the phone call. I wanted to see his cat. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. I should have clicked it. Whatever. This is the 3rd month in a row I've gotten TBR jar. Excuse me? This is crazy. I have so many prompts. How did I get this 3rd time in a row? Okay, TBR jar. This is a completely randomized book that I will be picking out from my TBR jar. I do love TBR jar. It gets me into a new series. Do I need a new series? No, not exactly. Do I like starting new series? Yes. So we'll see. But yeah, I will be doing a TBR jar this month as well. Fun. So here's my TBR jar. So let's just pick a book the 3rd month in a row for my TBR jar. I actually really love doing this because it's just fun to just pick random books. So here we are. There's over 200 books in this. I haven't updated it, but there's not that many books I haven't updated anyway. There's only like 4 or 5 missing that I haven't added yet out of like 250 something, so I think it's fine if I missed a few. Again, here's the legend if you need to look at it. So we just don't really want a dark purple. That's the only one I don't really want, which is adult fantasy. Other than that, I can handle it. If it's purple and pink, that's like adult fantasy romance, so that's fine, as long as it's not just purple. This one, wait, what number is it? 29. Oh. This is a YA contemporary. Oh god, where did it go? So 29 is one of my earlier books, and it's a YA contemporary, which is something I don't usually read, and I usually don't love. But you know what? We're gonna see what it is, and maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be a great book. I'll show you first, as usual. What is it? Wait, is this what I think it is? Stop. I actually really want to read this. Sorry, I'm being over dramatic. I am actually really excited about this. This is like an LGBTQIA plus book with, I think it's written by a Black author, and I've been wanting to read this for a while, and I'm pretty sure it deals with like mental health and stuff. If this is what I think it is, let's see what this book is about and talk a little bit more about it. So for my third prompt, my sim chose TBR jar. You already saw me pick out the book, so it's not really going to be a surprise. And that is The Wicker King by Kay Ankrum. This is a book I've heard a lot about. I've heard some people like rave about it, and this is something that really has interested me for a long time and I haven't gotten to, so I'm really excited to be finally getting to it now. This is following two characters, August and Jack. August is a misfit with a pyro streak, and Jack is kind of like the golden boy. Jack starts to see vivid hallucinations, and August is there for him and kind of goes along with this with him, although others kind of ostracize him for this, and so it kind of just follows them going along this path of Jack's hallucinations. And if you look at the pages of the book itself, you can see the pages getting darker and darker as you go. So it starts off like normal, and then the pages eventually start to ink until they turn almost completely black. Sounds like a hard-hitting book, and I'm looking forward to giving it a shot, and I've been wanting to read it for a long time, so I'm looking forward to actually getting to it now. I really feel bad that I did not answer that phone call because I wanted to meet the cat. I'm just gonna like video call him. Let's video call and see his cat in video call, and then I'll actually meet his cat. Next time I play, I will go to his house and we'll show you the cat, and then then I'll feel less bad about it. So Mistral's passed out on the couch. We're just gonna pick another book. So this is the last book. This is the bonus prompt. If I can get to it, I'll get to it. If I don't get to it, that's fine, but this will be the bonus prompt. Let's see what I get to. This might be a duplicate, and it looks like it might be, but let's see. TBR jar. I think we have a bias with this prompt. We might keep getting it. Okay, this is a different book. What one is this? Let's see. A poll pick. Have others on social media platform decide between 2 to 4 books and read the one they had the most votes. I'm curious what this one's gonna be. This one could be any of the books I want, as long as I choose the one that they decide on the most. This could be sequels I'm already reading. This could be anything I want. This kind of gives me a little bit more time and, you know, freedom. So my last prompt is poll pick. My poll pick I actually already put on my community tab, like I said, and I had 3 choices for you all. The first one is City of Lost Souls. This is the 5th book in the Mortal Instruments series. There's only 2 books left, the 5th and the 6th, and I just need to get to this series. I've been reading the series for probably since I started in the book community like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I've been reading this, so I need to get to it eventually. So yeah, this is by Cassandra Clare, City of Lost Souls, right? Yeah, City of Lost Souls. This is the 5th book. This is a potential contender. We also have the 3rd book and the final book in the Dark Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. This is A Conjuring of Light. Like I said, this is the 3rd and final book of this trilogy, and I've just been supposed to get to it. I had it on TBR. I think I just didn't get to it, but this is another contender. Pretty thick one. This is the biggest one on the list, but still, like, looking forward to giving it a shot if I get to this. And then the last one is The Raven King, which is the 2nd book in the, I forgot what the trilogy is called, I apologize, but I haven't actually got to this yet. I have not gotten to the Foxhole Court yet while I'm recording this, but I put it still there as a contender because I know I want to eventually get to it if I actually enjoy the 1st book. If I don't enjoy the 1st book, I would still get to this if it won, but this is another option. Like I said, I don't have to get to this. Whatever wins, I will be choosing that. And I actually already know who the winner is, so why am I acting like I don't know? I'm not sure. And that is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This was actually pretty close, but this one eventually came out on top, and I'm finally going to be reading this. Hopefully. I'm not even gonna say anything because who knows. I feel like a lot of people already know about this trilogy. This is a Kel who traverses through multiple Londons. He kind of gets himself in trouble. He meets someone along the way. There's like a prince who's his best friend. He has like a little bit of a romance between another character. It's a fun time. I'm really like nervous about what can happen in this book. I'm not like loving this trilogy. I think I would have loved this as a teenager, like adored it. I still am liking it a lot, but this is more like a 3.5 to 4-star series for me, and I think that's still good, but like I would have liked it a lot more in the past. I'm still really looking forward to seeing how this ends, and I'm a little bit scared, not gonna lie, but we'll see how it ends. I think this is my first time ever finishing a V.E. Schwab kind of series in general, or just trilogy or anything like that. So yeah, maybe I should get to more V.E. Schwab and try other forms of their work. So we are going to be moving on to the rest of my TBR for this month if I have any books left. Let's see if I add any other books to this TBR and just see what the rest of the month will take me, because it's going to be an interesting one. So that is it for my Sims TBR portion of the video. I still have 2 more books though that I would like to read myself personally. One of them is an arc and one of them is another continuation of a series because I really need to continue my series. There's a theme here. So the first one is going to be a book that is actually releasing on August 15th, so I would like to start it this month so I can, you know, review it and tell you about it before it releases. This is Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher, and I've actually never read anything from T. Kingfisher before, although I've heard their work a lot around the fantasy world. So I'm really excited to be writing a book, and it's also a really short one. It's only 128 pages, and this is a fantasy. This is kind of like a fairy tale based fantasy. So instead of following the princess of this book, we're actually following a toadling. So it's actually kind of a person and a toad combined. So this toadling is actually taken by fairies and kidnapped by them, and eventually they bring her back into the fairyland when she's an adult. When she's an adult, they tell her to protect this princess, keep her in this castle, and make sure that no one hurts her. One day, a knight in shining armor goes through the brambles and goes toward the castle, but the toadling has to uphold this curse and make it so that he cannot get into the castle toward the princess. So this is a fairy tale that is kind of looking at a different point of view, and instead of looking at the princess and with the knight in shining armor, we are following a toadling. And I think this is going to be really interesting. It's pretty short. 128 pages is very small, so it's probably gonna be really straight to the point, and I'm looking forward to trying it out and seeing if I like T. Kingfisher's work. Maybe I will, I don't know, but I need to read more of their work because I've heard a lot about it. The sixth and final book I'm going to potentially be reading in July is Archangel's Kiss by Nalini Singh. This is the second book in the Angel's Blood, is that what it's called, series? This is the second book. There are at least 16 or so books in this series. It's a long series. It's following a vampire hunter, Elena, and an angel. What's his name again? Raphael? Is his name? No, his name's not Raphael. What is Raphael? Oh wow, I actually remembered his name. Wow. Following Elena, the vampire hunter, and the angel, Raphael. There's a romance between them. It's actually very like recent Feyre thing. I actually want to talk about that in more detail in my wrap up, but yes, very much so those two characters. I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like, reminds me of like a detective book, the first one at least, because we're following Elena and she's kind of trying to discover things about the vampires. She also has a mission in the first book to kill an angel. This one I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I won't really talk much about how I liked the first book. I didn't like it as much as I thought, but I am looking forward to trying the other ones and seeing if they kind of gradually get better. But I'm going to be getting to the second book. I'll have to see what this one is about when I read it in July. And with that, that is all for my TBR for July. I have 6 books on this list. If I decide to get to these manga, or more than just one of them, I'll obviously be more than 6, but for now, these are the 6 books I plan on reading in July. This is an overview of all the books I plan on reading in July, just to make it a little bit easier to see what I plan. And yeah, that is it for July. A lot of these I am just like highly anticipating, so who knows if I'll actually enjoy them or not. If I give any 5 stars this month, I'm going to be amazed. I don't give 5 stars ever. Please, just give me a 5-star this month. I'm begging you. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great reading month in July, and hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.